Hi everyone, and welcome to Advanced Seller Central Reporting. As you just heard, my name is Natasha Ricardo, and I'm an existing seller account manager in the selling partner team. My role is to work with sellers like yourselves who sell on Amazon already, and to help you grow your business by helping you adopt some of the many programs that Amazon offers. We know that it's integral for your business to have access to reports and tools to help you analyze your business, to help you grow. However, I'm also very aware that Seller Central has so much information, it can be very difficult to know where to look for that reports. So for my session today, I wanted to take you through the reports to answer some of the important questions that my sellers ask me. Examples of these questions include, how are my Amazon sales performing? Am I growing year on year? What are my best sellers on Amazon? How can I better manage my FBA inventory? Is there any issues with my stock at the fulfillment center? And how long has my stock actually been sitting there? How can I see what's actually happening with my stock in the fulfillment network? How can I track returns and reimbursements? And how can I keep on top of what my FBA fees are? The reports to answer these very important questions include 3 reports. First one being business reports, inventory health, and fulfillment reports. One thing to note before we get started is that business reports is limited to only professional sellers. So if anyone is an individual seller, you'll have to upgrade to get access to these. And then inventory health and fulfillment reports are only for FBA sellers. So let's get started with business reports. You can navigate to this page via your Reports tab in Seller Central and going into Business Reports. Inside this, there will be a lot of different options you can pick, and we'll be covering Sales Dashboard and your detail page, Sales by Traffic. So the Sales Dashboard gives you an overall understanding of how your Amazon Australia business is performing. I will always navigate to this page first when I'm working with a new seller, as it gives me an understanding of how your business is performing on Amazon. As you can see in the slide, you can filter the data by different time periods to get an understanding about how your business is going for different time periods. So for example, months to date, seasonality periods, or since you've launched on Amazon. You can also filter the data by fulfillment channel, such as Amazon or Seller Fulfilled, to get an understanding about how each of these different channels are performing for you. As you can see, the data will appear in a graph view, which will allow you to see trends between months to see overall if you're growing or declining. But you can also filter it into a table view, which may be more useful for your business reporting. Once I've got an understanding about how your overall business is performing, I'll then dive deep into your product sales with our detail page sales by ASIN. So as you can see on this report, it allows you to rank your products by your units ordered as well as your unit sales. So this will allow you to identify your best sellers on Amazon. One thing I hear all the time from my sellers is that their best sellers on Amazon are completely different than their own sales best sellers on their own stores and from other stores as well. This just can be because we have different preferences on Amazon and different ways of shopping, but it's super interesting to be across and make sure you're looking at. Once you've identified your best sellers, you can then look at how you can continue to grow your sales. So for example, looking at sending those products into FBA. Another very important insight, which I think is really great to be across, is your page views. So this is the amount of times customers are actually looking at your listings and actually visibly checking on the listing itself. This has a very important insight because it can give you an idea of your conversion. So for example, if you have products with high page views and low sales, you may have an issue where your conversion isn't what you think it should be. So you can investigate doing things like improving your content on your listings, looking at playing around with pricing mechanics like promotions to encourage trial and conversion. Alternatively, if you have low page views and low sales, you can look at things like driving some keywords or sponsored ads to get people to look at your listings. And so this data will enable you to make informed decisions about how you can best drive your sales. The last thing I want to have a quick look at in business reports is your featured offer percentage. So this has been brought up a few times today, and what the featured offer actually is the option on the top right-hand side of a listing, which allows you, the customer, to add the product to their cart or buy it now. So the business reports actually allows you to see what percentage of the time your product is the featured offer. This can then allow you to identify and investigate how you can improve that percentage by looking at things like your shipping times, your pricing, and your ratings and reviews. Let's move into inventory health. You can navigate here via the inventory tab, and this time going into inventory planning. Inside this tab, there's a few different options, and we're going to look at manage inventory health. So when you send your stock to our fulfillment centres, the last thing we want is your stock sitting on our shelves incurring dust and storage costs. We want to encourage your products to move through our fulfillment network and to make you sales. So one of the tabs in inventory health is actually a recommendations tab. So our systems will analyse your listings as well as your sales and actually generate your listings personalised recommendations for how you can grow your product sales. These can range from things like advertising your listing, improving your content, and even things like sending and replenishing your stock. Please note that these recommendations should never be used as a substitute for your own judgment, but we hope to give you this to help you make informed decisions. So let's have a look at one of those recommendations in further detail, Restock Preferences. So on your best-selling items, the system will actually recommend to restock these items, and you'll be able to actually customize these restock preferences by adding information in the system such as your supplier lead times, your supplier minimum order quantity, and your case pack information. And you can add all of that information via this tab, the Manage Inventory Health tab. As you can see on the slide here, the system will actually tell you the amount of stock you should send in and the date to send that stock by. And this will really enable you to minimise your out-of-stock period and encourage you to make more sales. One thing that we know is really important as well to be on top of is your inventory age. So this is the length of time your stock has been at the fulfillment centre. And this is really important as it will allow you to identify what may be your more slow-moving items. So as you can see in the Inventory Health tab, you can actually filter to see the inventory age, to see the length of time your product has been at the fulfillment centre. One thing to be really across is products that are nearing 365 days or over 365 days are something to be on top of, because products that have been in the fulfillment centre for more than 365 days are actually subject to long-term storage fees. These are calculated per unit as per our normal storage costs, but it's just something that you should be on top of, as no one likes a surprise fee for their accounts. Lastly, Alex talked previously to stranded inventory. So you know that when you send your stock to our fulfillment centres, we do our best to make sure nothing goes wrong. But every now and then an issue can occur and your product may go into stranded inventory. This can be for a whole lot of range of reasons. So for example, a product recall, expiry date issue, or even if your product just needs hazmat information submitted. So in this Fix Stranded Inventory tab, you can actually see the products that have been impacted, the reason why, and in some circumstances, you'll actually be able to appeal and to reinstate the listings. Other times, you may need to actually return the stock back to you, and Amazon offers a quick and easy solution for that with our returns and disposal, which are, as you can see on the slide, a very cost-effective per unit cost. Moving on to our last question now, which is our question of how can I actually see what's happening with my stock in the fulfillment network. We navigate to this, which is Fulfilment Reports, in the Reports tab, but this time going into fulfillment. As you can see, this one has a lot of different reports available, and I do urge you to have a look at this afterwards if you're an FBA seller, as there's some really insightful data here. So we know that when you send your stock to us, we know that you're putting a lot of trust in us to take care of that stock for you. And so we hope to give you visibility about every aspect of where your stock is in our fulfillment network through this report called the Inventory Ledger Report. So as you can see on the slide, the report will give you visibility of where your stock is in every aspect of our fulfillment network. For example, if it was in transit between warehouses, if it was being held up in a customer order, or if it was actually lost or damaged. So you can see all of that information on this report. So this may be really helpful if you're trying to reconcile your shipments and also keep on track of what's happening with your fulfillment. So with the FBA loss and damage reimbursement policy, you're covered when your stock is under our care. So if there's any issues at the fulfillment centre, if our carriers or warehouse damage your stock, you are eligible for reimbursement. So this reimbursement report in the Fulfilment Reports actually helps you to get visibility over what these reimbursements are. As you can see the reason for reimbursement, the products impacted, as well as your reimbursement amount that you've been reimbursed. So you can see all that information in this report. Another feature that we offer with FBA is we take care of all the customer service for you, and this includes returns. So you won't actually receive any returns notifications, so we try to give you visibility of all of that information through this returns report as well. So as you can see in this report, you'll see the products impacted, the reason for the return, and the status of the return. So you can keep on top of all of your FBA returns through this report. Now, the last report I'll be talking you through is the one I'm most excited about. As we know as a small business and even medium businesses, you really need to understand all of the fees involved at a per product level. So this report actually tells you that information. What it is, it's called the Fee Preview Report. You simply need to convert your products to FBA, and then you can pull this report, and it will tell you at a per product level the selling referral fee, and then your fulfillment by Amazon fee, which is your pick, pack, and ship fee. And so it'll allow you to easily estimate for a very large catalogue of products what your FBA fee is, which then I hope would then allow you to identify new products for FBA. As well, you can then check your existing products and see that your dimensions are correct, and then cross-check that against the fulfillment fee to make sure you're getting charged the correct amount. And for those of you that are interested, you can also see your packaging tier as well. So that's everything. I hope you found those reports interesting, and you'll be able to use those to make additional insights into your business performance. Thank you.